UNEP's beginning was amazing, but now UNEP has changed with the strong presence and influence of countries that protect their polluting industries, including pesticide industry and the mining industry, rather than the environment, biodiversity, nature and humans. PAN-AB believes that communities, small food producers and indigenous peoples workers that live on the land and practice agroecology have, through their experiences, been able to protect the environment much better than anyone else. The knowledge and wisdom of these communities and indigenous peoples have tremendously contributed to developing nature-based solutions and innovations and should be in the discussions and development in UNEP. UNEP should work to make a reality of the community experience and knowledge to concretely protect nature and the environment.
We urge member states to enhance women's participation in environment and climate-related decisions. Provision of sexual and reproductive health services from the lens of climate change and disaster risk reduction is essential to meet SDG 3, 5 and 13. This entails adequate finance allocation, addressing the capacity gaps and advancing on technology frontiers in healthcare provision.
Farmers' Voice in Bangladesh wish to be with you. We also wish that UNEP will accelerate its struggle to put the Environmental Defenders Protection Policy into practice more effectively in the coming days.
To be relevant in people's lives in the next 50 years, UNEP must steer the international community to collectively address the climate and biodiversity crisis that pose serious existential challenge to humanity. Strict enforcement of MEAs, demanding accountability and imposing sanctions on government actors and corporations that commit environmental crimes are critical components of effective and responsive global environmental governance that UNEP must strive for.
We call for awareness and recognition of the fundamental value of natural ecosystems and for decisive and urgent action. At all levels, from international to regional, national and local, existing development strategies need to be reviewed and urgent action taken to protect natural ecosystems and wildlife. Adjustments are required at all sectoral policies, including agricultural policies, in order not only to meet the demand for food, but also to minimize the pressure on natural ecosystems.
The environment is the life of human and all creatures in the earth that are being impacted due to environmental degradation and destruction. The climate change, global warming, pollution, excessive exploitation of natural resources, and loss of biodiversity are the major causes of it. Now, the world has understood the need of ecosystem restoration and nature-based solutions. Hence, to protect and conserve the ecosystem and the nature, there is need of collective nature-based actions based on indigenous and local communities, environmental friendly good practices that nurture and care to the nature.
It is very important to preserve our genetic resources. Unless we are able to maintain agroecology, come back to chemical-free, toxic-free agriculture, there is no way we can save the planet. It is very critical that we throw out corporations from agriculture, production and consumption and bring back traditional methods, indigenous methods of agriculture production.
We hope that you include in your agenda the addressing of environmental and ecological factors that contribute to the forced migration of people across the world. And we also hope that you include migrants in this conversation.
UNEP has not been able to address the root causes of the environmental crisis, which is based on corporate-led fossil fuel industrial development. The only way forward is to look for people science, informed, indigenous and traditional knowledge.
One of the key elements to protect environment is to ensure the right to clean drinking water and the right to equitable access to sanitation for all. In order to ensure this, all forms of social barriers, especially discrimination based on work and descent, caste, race, gender, indigeneity and disability and all other forms must be eliminated at all costs. The UN and its member states must exercise their political will in order to see that this right is protected at all costs.
UNEP is a platform to think globally and act locally. UNEP is an alarm for climate disaster. United Nations Environmental Programme is a platform where poor countries and representation of the poor people get chance. And UNEP is a guardian of climate justice.
The Asia in the Pacific is home to a lot of renewable sources of energy, and yet we find ourselves getting dumped with dirty coal-fired energy from rich countries. This has to stop. We have to move from a brown economy to a green economy, creating green and climate jobs through a just transition process, thereby creating decent work for all and helping us achieve sustainable development.
Regarding UNEP at 50, there is much space for improvement and enhancements, particularly on policy coordination and global environmental governance. In contribution to that, Asia-Pacific people must do more nature-based actions, lead by example, so that our voices can be stronger and be heard for real.
In light of the climate emergency, we need urgent action. However, environmental defenders have been facing grave threats to their security. In the past years, the UN Environment Programme has taken positive steps to address these challenges. With more lives at stake, now more than ever, we hope that we can continue working together to ensure the protection of environmental defenders, to seek accountability